so I can say.
All right.
"Hey, but I forgot.
It was
Just
yeah,
give
it's not like scary.
All right.
I think
Are you guys ready?
Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the Tagalog, Filipino Tagalog lecture.
Lecture?
Lecture? I don't know. That's the way I'm
He's just gonna
going
keep
for now.
talking, so
But
it's gonna
short,
be a lecture.
short. The meeting. Okay. So, my name is Joshua Aniag, and
I'm Principal Ploteña, and we are two representatives of the organization, language learning organization Tagalog Now. And this is our presentation on language. All right.
so Vince, take it away.
Let's start with our introduction to Tagalog.
Yeah.
So, where is Tagalog? Tagalog is the national language of the Philippines. Technically, the modern form of Tagalog is Filipino. And so Filipino and English are the two national languages of the Philippines. It's spoken by over 25 million people, and it is one of very many languages in the country.
Wow.
Wait. What is it? Yeah, there are many languages in the country. So the main language family is Austronesian, but it can be further looked into Malay Polynesian within that family. And the biggest influences on Filipino or Tagalog is the native language is Tagalog, Spanish, and English. Go colonization. But this is a map of the many languages of the Philippines, which some of the most bigger ones are Kapampangan or Ilonggo, Cebuano, and so many people incorrectly call them dialects, but they almost have no similarities to the language of Tagalog.
They are not mutually intelligible, unlike
Yeah.
what most people think who are not in the country.
It's very tribal, and yeah. So three generations of colonization from the Spanish to the Japanese to the Americans, and so that is why you have this melting pot of languages in the Philippines, and you have a lot of loanwords and a lot of all over the place grammatical structure.
As for Tagalog specifically, Tagalog is spoken on the island of Luzon, specifically in the south part of Luzon. So, yeah, right around there. It is also where the capital Manila or Manila is
Governing capital.
from. It's the language of the capital. That's all you need to know.
And it spread everywhere. It's the lingua franca,
Yeah.
like it says now.
It's
Is Manila, does it mean anything, or is there a reason
Um,
why the
there are-
council's named that?
there's some debate over it.
Okay.
One of the words I remember from etymology is my nilad. Nilad is I think it's some sort of plant, and my nilad would translate to just there is nilad. I don't know what nilad is yet, so
It has something.
it makes sense because there are other regions and towns in the Philippines with a similar pattern of etymology. You have Pangasinan, which is we're not Pangasinan.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so Pangasinan, the language, the name of Pangasinan translates to like where like the area of salt making. It's like Pangasinan. Pang-an is like the region or location or the place of where an action happens.
Oh,
And so yeah, I think I personally hold to that one a bit more. I don't know. I have to look on that.
okay.
Okay, so for the linguistics, language parts, these are the main things we're going to go over. We're going to go over the alphabet and the pronunciation. We already went over the language family. We're going to go over the word order, which is a little complicated. Pronouns, reduplication, which is a very important part of the language, as well as affixes, suffixes, infixes.
In typical Austronesian fashion, instead of making new words, it's like doubling it. So
Neo.
okay.
Oh, and so this is like a chart that compares the languages of Tagalog versus Filipino. Like it says, it's more about vocabulary in Tagalog. It's more strict and it's more technical. And this is the older language. So this is the root of Filipino. But after years of colonization, you get loan words, you get loose language structure, and you end up with Filipino.
They are essentially the same thing, but the Filipino, specifically, that's the date 1987. That's basically like what the government standardized.
So from 1897, that's from Spanish times. Spanish times? Yeah, Spanish times. And then 1987, that's when all the colonizers left Spain, Japan, America, and they finally established Filipino as a national language.
When was it?
1986.
Oh, so that's how.
Yeah, so there was a revolution. 1987, new president comes in. They make before, I guess I can point it out, but before 1987, he made the 3 national languages: Spanish, English, and Tagalog. And so, but now in the new revised constitution, it's just Filipino and English.
Why did Spanish disappear?
Just wondering,
You can say.
Can I just build up some context? It's
We're gonna be
it's
here
just a
all
little bit.
night.
It's a little bit. So,
Okay.
so you know how most of the countries Spain colonized, they speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I think I read this somewhere on Wikipedia, but I think it's like the reason why the Philippines does not speak Spanish is because the Spanish got too lazy to teach us Spanish.
What? That's not what I think. Well, okay.
Because it's like it was like how I'm like pulling stuff from like 3 years ago at this point. It's like they something about like, oh my gosh. Okay, no, I forgot. I completely forgot about that. But basically, Spanish wasn't as solidified in the Philippines as it was compared to like Peru, let's say, or Mexico. And that's the reason why a lot of the languages in the Philippines are still around. So
Yeah, well, the way I can explain it is Spanish was the language of the upper class. It was very selective who was able to learn Spanish. And so even now there are still some like upper class, like mestizo class that still speak Spanish. But it wasn't taught to the masses, which is why Spanish isn't widespread in the Philippines as it was.
but there is Chavacano, a language of the Philippines where like it is Spanish, but it's like in Philippine and like grammar that usually like you'd find in like Austronesian languages. So it's like the word order is all switched around. There's a bunch of like filler words to make it make sense in Spanish and like twist it all around. But yeah, there is Chavacano. It used to be a bit more prominent, like just like in spots around the Philippines, but I think for the most part it mostly exists in the south, in Zamboanga City. Okay. Now I'll be going over the alphabet and the pronunciation. So as of right now, Tagalog uses what we call the abacada alphabet. It's derived from abecedario, and basically it's just really phonetic. It's a very phonetic writing system. So like K's are always K's. Everything. It's a bit like all of the examples you'll see in Tagalog, and almost all the Tagalog you will see in the modern day is written in abacada. Abecedario is from Spanish, and it's a bit more. It follows conventional Spanish orthography, and the third one, specifically for Baybayin, specifically for Tagalog is Baybayin. Baybayin is the native writing system of Tagalog. It comes from the Brahmic script family, so it came all the way from India, went all around. There's a couple more theories. One theory says it came from Vietnam with the Cham people, the Chamba, and another one says it comes up from Indonesia. So we don't know it, but I guess it's there, and it was theirs. I think our earliest record of Baybayin writing was around the year 900. Contrary to popular belief, colonization did not wipe out Baybayin. In fact, they allowed it to exist. It only started to die off in the 1800s. And a fun fact is that Baybayin it was usually women knew it more so than men. It was I think it was because writing was seen as more of like a delicate task, and I guess the women were like given that task of writing. And I forgot to go over this for abacada, the modern day alphabet. It came about in 1939, so just before World War II, and they took upon abacada as a way of like sort of indigenizing the Tagalog language. You have Jose Rizal. He supported the adoption of abacada and leaving abecedario with all its Q's and C's and Spanish like orthography and all those rules. He wanted to make a new one, basically. As we've stated before, the Tagalog language belongs to the Austronesian family. So for those who don't know or aren't aware, the Austronesian language family comes from Taiwan, from Formosa. Yeah,
Taiwan.
Taiwan. And yeah, the Austronesians, they went pretty far. They essentially, it shows on the map. They go from Madagascar all the way to Easter Island. So and this expansion happened because I'm pulling from like old memories, but like the Austronesians were very much known for seafaring, and I think the Polynesians, I think they were the ones who got closer to mastering the seafaring, and they were able to like tell, as they looked into the ocean, they were able to tell whether where they were going was an island or just open sea. So depending on how the waves moved, how the moon moved and everything, they could figure out whether, it was like their own GPS, you know, they could find out where an island was just by looking at the water.
Good job.
So-
Good job.
That's not Austronesian.
That's like the Samoans do. We forgot all of that a long time ago. Okay. The word order of Tagalog follows VSO, so verb subject order. Our example here is kumain ang aso ng kanin. So the dog ate rice. Kumain is the verb, it's past tense verb of like kain, so to eat. Ang aso is dog, and ng kanin is just rice. So VSO right there. However, it can be much more flexible with that. It doesn't have to be VSO. It also does get a bit more complicated than that. Depending on what other words you add, there's a lot of enclitic particles, a lot of markers, a lot of everything that when you add them, it has to change to a certain format, or else no one will know what you're saying.
They'll know what you're saying. It's just gonna be very broken.
They'll just make fun of you. Yeah.
Just like the Semitic languages, VSO.
What?
Is that really how it is?
Yeah.
It is. Well, I mean, I think the map that you have like has all, like it has the Middle East and all of North Africa. So
Yeah.
all the most Afro-Asiatic languages also use VSO. But that's strict. Like you have to.
that. I looked
Like, we
into
can't
that
break off
too.
from that.
What language do you speak?
So I personally speak Arabic.
Arabic? Which Arabic? Where?
Which
Like there's a bunch.
so I speak the actual formal Arabic,
Okay,
but
so-
also the Egyptian Arabic. Yeah, I speak modern standard Arabic.
Me
yeah.
should.
Alright.
Me should.
We should?
Oh, me should. Is that how you say Egypt in Arabic?
No. So
Really?
wait, how do you say it?
Al me should.
No, it's Misr.
Oh, miss.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so far from the actual pronunciation.
So this is the meat of Tagalog. Everything about Tagalog is centered on this right here. What I coined, or what I call the ang nang sa system. The ng right here. It's pronounced nang. So they just shortened it because it's
What?
faster.
Say it again. Sorry.
So it's ang nang sa.
Okay.
So the ang nang sa system.
Okay.
Everything. I can't stress this more enough. Everything is around this right here. The ang nang sa system acts as a linkage between verbs and pronouns, which Tagalog is a very verb-heavy language. A lot of information is given through the verb, along with its relation to the pronoun. I'll explain a bit more later. Tagalog falls under the system of Austronesian alignment, which is a system of, I don't really know what it is. It's just something that you only really find in Filipino languages, but also some languages scattered out there. Like surprisingly, Nilotic also has the same system, but not exactly the same, but the Austronesian alignment. So going into Angnangsa system. In Angnangsa, so you know how we're all familiar with verb subject order, and the subject is the one doing the action, and the object is the one perceiving the action. The reason why I gravitate more to Angnangsa rather than using VSO is because Tagalog can switch that around in a minute's notice. I'll go to the example here. So you have the word kumain, sentence kumain siya, and also the sentence kinain niya. If you recall back, kain is the word for eat. And this right here, the siya and the niya, they both mean like he or she. Tagalog has no gender class, nothing, no.
Is it
Both-
infixing?
Infix? Yes, it is infix. This is a past tense. They both mean he slash she ate. But it has to follow this pattern because the sha is what I call an ang verb. It's a direct focus verb. Kumain is also an ang verb because of this infix right here, it's also a direct focus. When you have like whatever is like aligned, you know, like the oh my
Does
gosh.
this change what goes first?
Well, it's not exactly.
There's
It's
logic
like
and stuff.
the word order is still the same, but
It's, I think the equivalent that I would guess is passivization in Indo-European languages. Like the way I view passives is there's the lexical form, which is the subject and object, but you have a semantic layer of patient and agent. And what happens in passivization is normally is the active sentence you map the agent to the subject, patient goes to the object. Passive sentence flips the mapping. So that could somewhat explain the
I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like, what would be?
I'm not really
after-
familiar with Indo-European.
What would be after nam in? Or wait.
Yeah, so these are this is the ang and nam. The sha is an ang verb. The nya is a nam verb.
Oh, right, okay.
So like let's
Okay.
say for now if we switched it around. We say kumain nya. Kumain would be so that means the nya is now the one being eaten.
Right.
But if we say like kinain siya, then it wouldn't really make sense. It's
Yeah.
just a gray zone. So,
Okay.
but is it kumain siya? Siya means that he or she is eating. Kumain niya means that he or she is being eaten.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So now
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
now
so,
it's
so so the sha is the agent of the sentence, and it
Yeah.
effectively takes on the subject role. But the nya is, and the kumai nya would be the patient of the sentence, and so it takes, it would
The object?
effectively be an object role?
yeah,
Yeah.
So
that
it's
basically-
something is being eaten by.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just know that if there's an end, then they're on the receiving end.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah, just know that for because
That's
there's
awesome.
two ways you can
Wait,
There's
so
two ways you can denote a pronoun is being on the receiving end. That's a lot more complicated. I don't go over that for now. It could take a bit more. But yeah.
Wait, Nick, wait, a quick question.
Goodbye.
Bye, Nick.
Bye.
Wait, so is there a verb form? So the way that you have eat, do you have a verb form for eaten, or do you use the angnangsa system to
use
to
angmansa.
Oh, okay.
And kumain, kinain, both are past tense.
Okay. So there's no Tagalog. There's no Tagalog analog of eaten, like the verb eaten.
Yeah, like she was eaten.
Yeah, like is there like a verb
I
eaten
think-
like equivalent?
I think that
There is a close
if you use
there is a closer translation, and you would use the prefix ipa, which would be like ipa means to have another object do something else.
Uh-huh.
So like ipinakain
Oh,
siya.
okay.
But no, that wouldn't that mean he or she was coerced, like or put to eat something else.
It's like a
Oh,
cosmic.
okay.
Because it's still shot, yeah.
Oh,
it's still
okay,
shot, so
gotcha.
she's still not on the receiving.
Got it.
Would it,
Okay.
would it be like is eaten if you used with num? Would that be it?
Wait, could you say it again?
Would it be like the passive form like is eaten if you used with num?
Mhm.
Is that the right map?
I'm-
You switching around.
Passive, I actually I don't know. I'm not really like familiar with these terms like passive agent. I'm kind of just
Okay.
like.
If you go into the
floating
previous
around.
one, then is it like kumanya? Is that like
She was eaten.
she was eaten?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. So Nia is like the passive marker or like.
but I wouldn't
No.
like we usually specify what's eating her and what's eating
Yeah,
him
it'd be awkward.
because it's just like she was eating like kumain ang kumain
You want the saw
Aso.
there? Is that it?
Kumain aso. Kain
I
kain ko ang aso.
Sorry.
Wait, Coda, you had something?
So if I understand correctly, the articles or the pronouns conjugate to indicate what's the focus of the sentence, and then the way you conjugate the verb indicates which one of these happens to also be the subject of the sentence. Is that right?
say the first part again.
So like whether you use am, nam, or sa indicates the topic of the sentence, the main thing we want the listener to focus on,
Yeah.
whereas the verb then conjugates to indicate which one of the
Yes.
objects of the
Yeah.
sentence happens to be the subject.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Mm,
You can think
okay,
about it that
okay.
way.
Got it.
Cool.
I need to pull up the.
We don't have it open.
You have it open.
We don't have it.
I can log in from my account.
You have to take so long to sign in.
It's on my account.
What are you trying to do? I know.
So, do you want to explain what this?
You can open it on your phone. It's probably faster.
Oh, on my phone, but no, it's like, that's the document,
Yeah, but what are you trying to present?
the full list. Like how many? Like,
Why didn't you take a screenshot?
sorry, yeah, it's on my laptop.
Just write it on your phone. You just write it on the board if you want.
No, that's to take even longer. Okay, so basically,
Jekyll and
from
Hyde.
in Tagalog now, we have a lot of, not a lot of, but we have a few documents to help our students learn. One of these documents I wrote, it's called Speaking Tagalog, Speaking Tagalog Simplified. And if I can just log in, because it shows
Thank you.
all of the different like infixes, affixes, like just it's a full list. Hold
I
on.
told you guys, it's over on your phone.
I have to present it. It's too big.
That's too good.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Do it later. Do it later.
So, we'll skip the first unit for now. Basically, it does a lot. I should know. I can go
You
to
can
the
probably find it on Google. Oh.
right here. This is one of the main websites I use to really specify things about Tagalog grammar. If you head over to the verb section onto verb affixes,
Oh my god.
these are all.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Oh.
Oi!
So let me just.
How much of this can you like predictively make from a table, and how much of that do you just have to drill into your mind?
It's all tapped into your head.
Is all what?
Yeah, brute memorization.
Nice.
There's a, and,
Is
and,
it
and,
all
you
of it?
see how there's the same sound but multiple parts. It's because there's multiple definitions that change depending on what word you're using.
On to the power 4. I'm just
Yeah, we have to do like equations and.
But you see,
on cube
For-
plus on squared.
verb affixes, they fall into two categories. Me and like most websites will refer to them as either direct or indirect focus. The trick, or like the cheat sheet to defining or finding out whether an affix is direct or indirect is by looking just like whether it has an I, a U, or an M and an N. You see right here, the in, ipa, ipag, ipang, these are all what do you call it? These are all indirect verbs. So they are exactly the same form, not form, but function as this right here, kinain. So kumain, that's direct, kinain, indirect.
So you know you'll have a non-focus?
Yeah, so like they would to define who is doing that verb, you'd mark it with a noun.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason why it's nya instead of nang nya is because they combine. It's like nang sha, they combine together to make nya. They shorten it. And sha is just there. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of different specific meanings to each affix. Like let's say for kaan, this is an affix where you would denote location. So kinamatayan siya sa ilog. So he or she died in the river.
Oh my god.
I know that was pretty dark. Ilog was the first. Yeah, it was the first one that I thought of. Or like kinamatay ni Magellan ang dalampasigan.
Ah,
Why do they all about dying in water?
I think that's the only word we have left. I think that one. Let's see. There's ipa. This is a pretty significant
Ipa.
one. It's to have someone do something else. So, that someone borrows something. Let's see. Ipina. In these examples, the first e is just dropped off. Which is pretty.
I didn't know
There's
that.
so many exceptions.
So pinakita ni Andrew. So like pinakita is like show, and so you have the ni. Ni is
Subject
a
word?
noun. It's a noun
Okay.
word. It's a noun marker. And
Okay.
you have the words ni and si. You use those words before a proper noun. At least for people, not for like locations. For like let's say like si Prince or si Carlos, si Jerry. So like these are some things like that. There's another one that I really like. Oh, the affixes are also influenced by how many people are doing that, plurality. But these more specific ones are you hear them more in like the rural areas or like the older generation. Yeah,
Mexican.
Mexican.
Is
They all-
that for old people?
I just press the present button at the top. Present full screen. Sige.
Sorry for taking so long.
Oh no, charts.
Oh.
I hate charts. No.
Keep going.
Okay, so going on to the pronouns. This is the
Pretty
full
straightforward.
exhaustive like list of pronouns that you saw earlier in the Anang Sa. You have sha, where is it? Sha, right there.
Oh, that's what
And you see it correlates on this. You have the ang pronouns, nang pronouns, and the sa pronouns.
No. Oh.
In typical Austronesian fashion, gender does not exist in the language, and we have this pronoun where it can be like it's the inclusive versus exclusive pronoun. So like let's say tayo. Let's say if I was speaking the Prince right here, right? It's like kumain na tayo. It's like we already ate. By using tayo, I imply that he is with me and that we already ate. But if I say kumain na kami, I would imply that Prince did not eat with us and that it was me and some other people.
Oh.
So it's an inclusive, exclusive sort of whoever you're talking to, but it only exists in plural form. I also want to know the kita pronoun. I'm trying to work it together. Kita, in the way that it's used by most people, it's used within a standard Manila sort of usage. This definition right here, like to you or from me, it's really only a Manila sort of thing. If you go like outwards in the world, well, it just changes. So like the meaning of kita means you would use it to denote that you yourself are doing something to the addressee, to the person you're talking to. So let's say I'm saying, mahal kita, I love you. Like I mahal means expensive. So like,
That's a
but you're not calling them expensive. You're saying that you love it, you know.
Okay.
But if you go outwards, let's say into what Batangas, which is like more down south, or like Mindoro, is that Tagalog region? Mindoro? No? Oh, never mind. But yeah, let's say Batangas. It's a bit more south. Kita loses this function and just joins up like a dual function. Actually, no. I think it does both. It does both. So let's say, kumain na kita. Kumain na kita. In the Manila dialect, you'd hear like, oh, you ate me? What do you mean? Like, you ate me? Like, kinain na kita. What do you mean? But if you go to Batangas, or just any old person in the world, if you say like, kumain na kita, you're saying only me and the person you're talking to already ate. Yeah.
That's really old
Kuma-
fashioned.
yeah.
No one uses
Kumain na
it.
kita. No, that's just a little fun fact. I know.
Is it kata now
Oh.
if you're gonna talk to someone
Like,
your age and you want to say that?
wait, which one? This one?
Kata? Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of it's just a variation,
Okay.
as far as I know. I didn't read. It didn't say anything else besides that variation. Now. Yeah, and
You should read
Austronesians. Okay. I love Austronesians. So, do you want to say, or should I say?
Well, you want to read the.
This whole reduplication sentence right here.
Oh, you want to. Oh, let's act it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So principal reading.
This is supposed to be like in an elevator. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why they're talking
Oh,
about
really?
going up, going down. There's supposed to be a picture with it, but I got it off. But they're at an elevator. Okay. So, Abba, Josh, Abba,
Baba. Baba.
Baba, Baba,
Baba. Baba.
Abba, Baba, Baba, Baba.
Baba. Baba. Baba. Baba.
Abba, Baba, 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 Baba.
There you go. That's reduplication for you. So yes, it can. That is the one example where it gets pretty out of hand. It's a very specific situation. But reduplication occurs in the future tense, and is to show like emphasis or stress. And also some words just naturally have reduplication. So like, let's say we'll go back to the word kain, to eat. That's like we're saying on one single word, so you guys can understand these affixes. Kain, we'll use the marker just for now. You have the word. You can't see that. Okay, this is okay. Kain means to eat. Kakain means to eat. Kakain, so you will eat. So kakain ka. You're going to eat.
Yeah.
It's a future tense.
Oh.
And what's an example for showing stress?
Oh, so Baba is down and
Like
Baba is
Yes,
down.
to
in
go
the
down,
future.
yeah.
Going down. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what's an example for stress, like for reduplication, or putting a lot of stress?
The word.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one because we don't. I don't really speak like that. I don't reduplicate. Well, I don't know. I just don't remember it.
Well, what else is there?
But like stress.
Ara
You say
ara?
like
What is it?
Ara-ara? Or is that different?
well, yeah. That is an example for duplication. However, it's just like every day. Araw means like the day or like one day, and ara means every day. But
Pagpag?
that's a special example. Oh yeah, pagbag. Pagbag is also an example. Pagbag has two definitions. The two definitions. Pagbag means to like shake something to move the dust. So like, let's say like this, like, that's pagbag. Pagbag. Like ipagbag mo yan. That's pagbag. The other definition is a dish, of which I won't really mention for now, because I might make you guys a bit sick to the stomach. You want
It's a
to?
delicacy.
It's a delicacy only known by.
Can I explain what
Togo street
pagpag
kids.
is?
Sure, if you
Sure.
think.
So in the rural parts of the Philippines,
Not
no,
even
in
the
like
rural-
the,
in
no,
the-
I mean,
in the
in
part
the
of the
slums,
Philippines,
in
yeah.
the slums of the Philippines, you know, meat is hard to come by.
but there's a lot of garbage. So, being resourceful humans, they in the slums of the Philippines, what they do is they have people digging through trash, finding like rotten. No, not rotten.
Not
It's
necessarily.
thrown away.
It's not
Scraps.
thrown away, but
It's
scraps.
thrown away meat, and they scrape it off, and then they gather it up, and then they cook it. They clean it, cook it, and serve it in restaurants.
It's like a stew.
It is like a
They wash
stew.
it. Wash it. Okay, that's.
I'm surprised
that's
that
really
much
yourself.
meat is going in.
I mean, it's a big pile of trash.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
You're like the chicken bone, like the one that like like you eat chicken wings, like you scrape off like the one on the end.
Practice.
But the second use, no, the third use of reduplication is for adjectives. So you would only do it to show plurality. So let's say you have the sentence or phrase magandang tao. Maganda means beautiful. Tao is person. If you want to say there are multiple beautiful people, you say magagandang tao. That's it. That's really just it. Everything else is very normal. But you do see right here how I said the word for beautiful was maganda, but here it says magandang. If you're going to connect an adjective to another word, you either add ng to the end of the word if it ends on a vowel. So you see you have maganda, it ends with a vowel, magandang. Or let's say if it ends on a suffix, not suffix, sorry. It ends on a consonant. Instead of putting ng, you just put na.
Ah.
So
Oh no.
this is your
You can
part.
go to the next slide. So there's some common phrases that are pretty good to know.
Yeah.
So first one is good morning, good day, or good night. Right now it's pretty late, so we would say magandang gabi. So that's just like good night, good night.
But it means morning, right? Sorry, beautiful.
Yeah.
Magandang. Okay.
So good, beautiful, morning, day, night. And then this one is one of Jerry's favorite, which is kamusta ka? And it's just
Spanish.
asking,
Yeah. ¿Cómo está?
yeah, like como estas in Spanish. So it's just asking, how are you?
Mosca.
What's up?
Sorry.
So I'm just going to combine what is it?
Huh?
Kind of dialect difference between Kamusta and Kamusta.
Oh no, it's just
Yeah.
it's just a variation.
Evolution.
You know, I feel like we're going through like a language shift. Not language, like a vowel shift right now.
Oh,
It's very weird. But yeah.
Next is the word for sorry, which is pasentia.
What? You told me there was no word for sorry in Tagalog.
There is. You just don't want to believe me.
You guys told I asked you. You guys told me there was no word for sorry and that they just didn't say sorry.
It's probably Vince. That guy's always
It was
lying.
probably Vince, to be
He's
honest.
always spreading misinformation.
And the next one is anong oras na? What time is it? And the interesting one about this one is the reply is going to be in Spanish. So in Tagalog, they have numbers, but for things like time or age, they use the Spanish version of the numbers. So like right now, the time is almost 7, so they would say a las 7. So
A las
that's-
7, okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, but you use
Oh,
horas as
yeah,
well.
we use alas instead of son las, like in Spanish.
But you also use horas in the
Oh yeah,
phrase.
yeah.
So
There's a lot of loan words, so that's
Yeah.
one of them.
Around like 1/3.
Yeah,
that's a
back up
lot
to-
actually.
So here's another one. Sanang banyo, where's the bathroom? Like
Saan ang banyo?
if you spoke to like a person like a Latin, like if you go to Spain and you speak Tagalog, you wouldn't be that far off. And last one is
Salamat.
salamat, which is thank you. And if you know other like Indonesian or something, they say
Salam.
Salamat.
yeah, salamat for like
But it's not the same thing.
I think
It's
it's
pretty
high.
different.
huh?
I think it's high.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like salamat is like good.
Like, salamat. Salamat pagi. That's like thank you. Wait, no, is it? Yeah, no.
I think-
No, I
The
hear
interesting-
Joko Widodo always start off his videos with like Salamat Indonesia or some
Yeah, so
shit.
that's their version of
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
what's
okay.
interesting, it comes. I think it's interesting because like if it comes from Indonesia, then it probably came from Arabic because we say salam, salam.
Let's see.
That probably, yeah.
I think it did.
Yeah.
So we say salam.
Words.
And then if we and if you like speak Palestinian Arabic or something like that, you'd say salamat to say bye. So
Ceviche.
Let's see. Arabic.
Oh,
Yeah, right there.
Oh. Oh wow.
Contrary to popular belief, Spanish is not the only influence on Tagalog. We've been getting influence in Sanskrit and still a thing.
Like it's technically a Arabic origin, but it's borrowed through Persian, that's why.
Okay, so let's keep this moving.
I mean, we're basically wrapping it up. We have some example videos of Tagalog, Filipino in modern context.
Oh my gosh, this is the best thing.
Magsisimula ng bagong semester na ito.
Oh, this is in Tagalog too.
Yeah. Okay. Usually you want to use this one? It's kind of quiet.
Check the volume. Yeah.
Ngayon, ng
Sige.
NBA game, si Steph Curry, na nitong linggo,
See, they use the week in Spanish.
mula sa pag-drive, pag-assist, at
Go to
pag-score,
like 2 minutes.
kahit pa wala siyang
Just enough to show magic.
Si Anos na si Justin.
The ages in
Oh,
Spanish.
yeah. NBA superstar
中国人
na si
也喜欢，
Stephen
可是
Curry.
他们玩
Kaya ang bansang sa kanya, batang
When do you
Steph
use the
Curry
Tagalog
ng
song?
Pilipinas.
Pero dito po kayong makalaban with my dad.
Matapos namin siyang itampok dito sa ating programa nito lang Pebrero, mas ginanahan pa raw siyang mag-basketball sa ibinigay naming rubber shoes. Katunayan, may natutunan daw siyang
There's
bagong
so many
basketball
English
skills
loanwords.
at moves.
have moves.
Hey.
Ang ina ni Justin, domestic helper na ngayon sa Bahrain.
Domestic
Kaya ang kaibigan ng kanyang ina na si Everly ang nag-aalaga ngayon sa kanya.
Yun yung pinakaya kong ma-feel niya na parang iba siya. Ang turing ko sa kanya anak.
Kasi po, para sa amin naman po yun eh. Kaya po siya malis. Ang gusto ko, yung pag
The
may
context
alam
her,
din
I
po
think
na-
his mom is in
Para
Bahrain
kahit
right now.
papaano,
Is it what?
maibsan
Bahrain,
ang lungkot
overseas-
at pangunguli
overseas-
nila sa
overseas
kanyang
worker.
ina. Niregaluhan ulit namin si Justin ng bagong bola at Golden State Warriors na jersey. Pero ang nagpapalukso talaga, dugo ngayon ni
Did you
Justin
just use
sa
pero,
linggong
pero,
ito
like to
ang
mean say
kanyang
bye?
idolo
Yeah, yeah. This,
Oh, that's cool.
na itinanghal na two-time MVP o most
Two-time.
valuable player ng NBA ang pinagmulan baby-faced assassin at basketball analyst bilang NBA's greatest shooter. Balik Pilipinas para sa
Hey.
and then I think the next one is a song. This was a recommendation from our social chair, Jerry Du. So, this is one of his favorite Filipino.
Wait, when did I recommend it?
Last night.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was doing the announcements at 3 a.m.
I'm like, why should they hear this? They're gonna be so confused. The apostrophe is just like the contract between like the word and the word at, which means just and.
Isn't the song about like a bird being trapped or something? And then
Yeah, that's what this part is.
Yeah,
Ibon
that's it
is
right there. That's
oh,
It's only 6 minutes. We go. I think it's a good way to expose people to the Filipino
Sad
see there's a lot less loan words in this one.
Is it an older song? It's like a
Yeah,
folk
the
song.
lyrics are a bit older, yeah.
Yeah. Is it the kind of song you ski the Dumo?
Yeah, I think this is written, I think at this point this is the Manila one.
Yeah.
So this is the dual one. It's just dual.
Oh, you can just finish it.
Sad is very soft. The song is sad.
Yeah, it's a revolutionary song.
Yeah. A lot of Filipino songs are sad, so just keep that in mind.
What's the first on YouTube? Is he the national singer? Or did he win an award for that? And then are you gonna play the next one?
Oh god.
It's only 1 minute. We can play the whole thing too.
Oh, it's 1 minute.
Yeah, it's not that long.
I thought this was the goodie bag.
Why aren't you guys singing?
Why aren't you singing?
Because I- Ito'y video ang Pinoy naman. Pinoy naman.
I think it's from GMA.
Huh?
I think this is the GMA sample.
GMA.
Ah.
Look at it, it's so dramatic. It does that thing. Hold on.
Okay, next one. I think that's the last line.
Yes.
If you guys want more information, this is the QR code to the website for Tagalog Now. And on the website, you'll find a link to the Discord and the Google Classroom. So, please stay if you want to do the Baybayin workshop. We'll open up the last slide with the Baybayin alphabet, and you can write your name or whatever. It's really easy. It's really easy to write your name Baybayin. So, because the characters align. So, yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Magandang gabi sa
Alright.
inyo.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Right. And naman?
Yeah, sarado mo na yun.
Sige.